the stage the captain of Crushers GC and the 2024 U.S. Open champion, Bryson DeChambeau!
Gosh, I'm trying to hold it in right now. The support's been overwhelming.
Tickets for Nashville this week are nearly sold out. We are calling this the Bryson effect.
Won the Saudi Open on the Asian Tour in April, and he won the International Series event in Macau in March, beating David Puig in a playoff. Here's a man with 9 career wins, 3 of them on the DP World Tour. 33 years of age from Sacramento, and he is making the most of his chance.
Remember, John Catlin playing as a reserve for Charles Howell III, who's injured. If he were to go on to win this, he gets those points. That would move him right at the top 24 number. Move him at 20th currently.
Yeah, another beautiful shot. These guys make this look so easy.
Tyrrell Hatton having a day. The Englishman 6 under par. He shares the lead with Abraham Ancer for the time being, at least. Now this is Abraham Ancer to stay at 7 under and in all likelihood have the open night lead, and that is wonderfully done. Abe Ancer with a 64.
This is what Live Golf's about, man. I had a vision of this 2-3 years ago, seeing what the potential could be, and this is just the start. I mean, with how much support we have out here, and it's just the start, that's a testament to what Live Golf is and what the Crushers are doing, what our team's doing, and what we're trying to do for Nashville and places all across the globe. So super excited for the future of Live.
Great to have you with us on Betting Above the Rim on a Sunday as we explode on the NBA draft on today's show all day. If you missed us the first hour, we're deep into it. We're brought to you by BetMGM. Make sure you get the SportsGrid app on iOS or Android. You're going to love it. It's free. It's got everything, stories, highlights, news, scores, in-game odds, you name it. Follow your favorite host. You can watch the network on there. You can listen to the network on there. It is phenomenal. You're going to dig it. The SportsGrid app. Don't forget, Wednesday and Thursday of this upcoming week, it's the NBA draft, and SportsGrid will cover it like no other. Our draft specials on both nights, and we'll also be doing Coast to Coast with Carver High and myself on Thursday with Coach Young also being on that show Thursday for round 2. So, as I mentioned, it's good to have you with us on the radio side, on SiriusXM, Channel 159, on Sports Byline USA and all their affiliates. In Southern California, Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, on all of our TV stations, streaming networks, you name it. It's great to have you with us on a Sunday. Coach, let's talk about some of the non-NCAA talent and G League prospects here because, you know, I'm not going to deny that in the first round there's going to be a load of NCAA players taken. But I think that people are being thrown off by the, Euros that are coming into the league that are going to be drafted so high. Some people might believe that it's going to be, foreign players on that first day dominating. I actually think it's going to be 50-50. But I do believe on that second day, it's heavy NCAA players getting selected. And I think a lot of the foreign players will already be in and picked by then, right? Fair enough. So I want to know your favorite non-NCAA players, let's call them Euros, foreign players, or G League prospects, because I think people, frankly, you have to be hardcore to know all the G League players. You got to be a hardcore basketball freak that you're obsessed with basketball to know these players. I truly believe that no one on the face of the earth knows who these players are that are in the G League. I mean, honestly. So why don't you tell us who you like coming into this draft of all these types of players and prospects?
Well, I've already talked about it a little bit, but Tijan Salam is something that I'm just really intrigued with because to me I look at measurables. Pharrell, I know he didn't shoot the ball great, only 32.9% from three, and he's not he shot shoot the ball over 70% from the line. So to me, I know this sounds crazy, Pharrell. I equate guys that can knock down free throws into guys that could shoot for the most part. So I think his three-point shooting could be a lot better as it goes forward. I think his length and his on-the-ball defense becomes intriguing because I think he can defend at an NBA level. And with him being now, you're worried about him being about 200, 205 pounds, Pharrell, but because of his 7'1" wingspan, his ability to defend and run the floor, and he could probably guard multiple positions, I think he's someone that is really, really intriguing in this draft because what he's able to do. I think another thing that people want to look at, sliding down, Tyler Smith. Okay, I don't know how much you know about this kid, Pharrell, but this is the 3-and-D in today's game. 6'9", 7'1" wingspan. Now he's bigger than Salam because he's about 225. Right, he's about 225 pounds. Right, so he's a little bit more muscle. Right, he's more built for right, and listen. He shot, he can shoot the ball from three. He's got smooth footwork. Now, listen, he's got to get better at defense where he can get lost. But to me, you put him in the right situation. Like, there's talk a lot, folks, late in the first round that the Knicks need to go get another, like a backup 3-and-D guy. The rumor's been running around here. It's the kid Dunn out of Virginia. But to me, I'm looking at Tyler Smith. This is the guy that people thought was a lottery pick. I think before the season, he is very, very good. Maybe you got to improve some of his game and his defensive thought concepts. But I think a kid like Tyler Smith out of the G League, really intriguing if he were to fall somewhere in that late first round.
And then, same kind of size, frankly, Buzelis, another G Leaguer, and then the kid Holland. You're talking about both of them. I think one of them's like 6'9", the other one's 6'8". Holland can flat out play. Look at those numbers. That is crazy. And look at him. He's putting the ball in the hole 44% from the floor. I'm not worried about him shooting threes at his size. But what about those two G Leaguers, Buzelis and Holland?
Well, let's start with Holland. Holland is a freak, Pharrell. Like, he's got NBA athleticism, 6'6", 6'7", about a 11 wingspan, if I'm not mistaken. Just a freak athlete. Now, his shot is going to need work, but he can defend like crazy. So when you got, 6'7" with a 6'11" wingspan, that means you could play him as a 2 or as a 3, depending on how you play, and you can really go with that small guy lineup. But Buzelis is someone that's interesting because he didn't shoot the ball well last year, but if I'm not mistaken, he shot it really well in high school from 3. Now you're gonna say, well, high school, college, the G League, he still shot at 43%. I think his senior year in high school, his last year. So this is the kid that could space the floor, really smart, another good defender. So here we go, Pharrell. Now he's bigger. He's about 6'9" with a 6'10" wingspan. So, close your eyes. Don't look like him, but you can play like him. What about a guy like Lamar Odom, right? One of the original, in the late 90s, right? Point forward, smooth, silky, has a feel for the game, can attack, good defender. Buzelis is someone that's very interesting. To me, I have him number 6 overall in my draft board. Holland is number 9 overall. So both of those two, Pharrell, should be picked right. I mean, if Buzelis, I think definitely in my mock draft, just based on sheer need and what I think he can do. I don't have, I have Buzelis going 6 to Charlotte. I don't have Holland going top 10. I could see him in the top 10, but I could see him right under that, 11, 12.
So you have, in terms of the other non-NCAA players, G Leaguers or Europeans, Topic, you still have high, even though he had ACL. And I think, once he's over it in a year, he's going to be an absolute badass in the NBA. He's going to score. Frankly, like all those Serbs score. And then how about the kid that you have, Klitman, the big 6'10" Swedish kid? He's another one that you like.
Pharrell, I think Topic could still go top 10. I think he's top 10 talent. I think the ACL is scaring people. Look at his game. He's Goran Dragic. Now,
Yeah.
Goran Dragic's had a hell of a career, Pharrell. Now, he wasn't ever like the, big time, 30-point game, but ball handling, smarts, and that's what you got to love about the Europeans, Pharrell, is the fact that they're just ridiculously smart basketball players. So when I look at someone like that, I look at that. When you look at a guy like Klitman, he's got another one, size, athleticism. He's going to be someone out of Europe that you're going to say, well, he understands the game, he can play a little bit. He's going to be an intriguing prospect as well. Just pulling up my big board here. I have him. He should be a first-round great guy because of his upside. But he's just at the end. I think I have him at 30, so he should be right at the end of the first round. 6'10", stretch 3-and-D guy.
Juan Nunez, a point guard out of Spain. I think he's 6'4", and then the kid Jurisic out of Serbia as well. He's a small forward and 6'7". I think Holland, you were talking about him before, I think he's a little bigger than that 6'6", 6'7". I think he's like 6'8", which makes him even more attractive. We continue to break down the NBA draft that's happening Wednesday and Thursday. Don't forget SportsGrid with a special 2-day blowout of the NBA draft.
Nashville, help me welcome to the stage the captain of Crushers GC and the 2024 U.S. Open champion, Bryson DeChambeau.
Gosh, I'm trying to hold it in right now. The support's been overwhelming.
Tickets for Nashville this week are nearly sold out. We are calling this the Bryson effect.
Won the Saudi Open on the Asian Tour in April, and he won the International Series event in Macau in March, beating David Puig in a playoff. Here's a man with 9 career wins, 3 of them on the DP World Tour. 33 years of age from Sacramento, and he is making the most of his chance.
I remember John Catlin playing as a reserve for Charles Howell III, who's injured. If he were to go on to win this, he gets those points. That would move him right at the top 24 number. Move him at 20th currently.
Yeah, another beautiful shot. These guys make this look so easy.
So having a day. The Englishman 6 under par. He shares the lead with Abraham Ancer for the time being at least. Now this is Abraham Ancer to stay at 7 under and in all likelihood have the open night lead, and that is wonderfully done. Abe Ancer with a 64.
This is what Live Golf's about, man. I had a vision of this 2-3 years ago, seeing what the potential could be, and this is just the start. I mean, with how much support we have out here, and it's just the start, that's a testament to what Live Golf is and what the Crushers are doing, what our team's doing, and what we're trying to do for Nashville and places all across the globe. So super excited for the future of Live.
Honest to God, what is happening here? Can I enjoy talking basketball and just get through it? Would that be all right? Like with everything that's happening here, I don't even know what's gone. I woke up in a good mood. I don't know what the hell happened. Coach,
It's Foster. It's Foster. Foster got you in a bad mood. Some damn Celtics fans.
I heard Foster actually replaced his teeth with Derek White's. So now Derek White has Foster's teeth. He gave up his front teeth to the shooter for the Celtics so he could look good at the parade. And now Foster's Lager is pimping a chipped front tooth. And he also said that he's going to watch the NHL draft at the Sphere with no teeth. He'll fit right in with the hockey players without any teeth. All right, Coach, I want to go through the litany of NCAA players that you love. And I know the stock is high on Reed Sheppard. I know you have already you must have like a lover in stores or something because you're all over Klingon. Something's going on there fishy. I like Klingon's game too, but you're really in love with him. And then Dillingham, another UK guy. Castle, another stores guy who I think is going top 5. And then the guy that I like, I love Dalton Connect's game. This guy, he is just ruthless. And I don't even want to talk about, everyone, he's a dog, this and everything. He's ruthless. My man likes to put the ball in the hole. He can score from anywhere. I love his game. Who are your favorite players in college basketball that we're going to see picked by NBA teams this week?
Well, let's put aside, obviously, Donovan Klingon, all right?
Thanks.
Stephen Castle.
Thanks, you spent a half hour on him already.
Castle's intriguing for us because this is the kid that wants to be a point guard, but was never a point because of Tristan Newton. And probably they play him as a 3 in a 3-guard lineup, so he's going to be intriguing. I do think out of all the guards, if I take a chance, I like him, especially defensively, as a big point guard at 6'6". If he can play the point, that's why I have him going right now 4 to San Antonio. Reed Sheppard, I like him at Detroit at 5. Maybe he can go at 3. To me, if he goes 3 at Houston, then what are you going to bring him off the bench? You're not trading Van Vliet. Are you trading someone like Jalen Green? Or are you just accumulating as many scores as possible? I think Detroit's intriguing because you can get rid of Killian Hayes, and maybe you just figure out that just the Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham experiment doesn't work, and maybe one of them gets moved, more likely to be obviously Jaden Ivey. Pharrell, I am a huge Dalton Connect guy. Pharrell, his movement off the ball, his ability to shoot the ball and shoot it from deep, the fact that because he can shoot it from deep, Pharrell, I think, even though he's not freakishly athletic, I think he's a 3-level scorer. He's got the deep game. I think he'll finish strong enough at the rack because he's strong and he's a man at 23 years old. But the best part about his game, Pharrell, is he's got a pull-up game. And to me, when you go from high school to college or college to pro as a guard, the biggest thing is if they run you off the 3-point line and you can't get to the 10, can you pull up in the kill zone at 15 feet and knock down a jumper? He can do that. And the fact that he's a clutch player, and listen, I don't like this team ever in a tournament. But one thing for sure, Pharrell, you play for Rick Barnes, you play some defense. And this kid can defend. So I think he's intriguing. And I think what's really good about him, Pharrell, is because of his experience and age, he can step in and play right away. I don't think there's much of a learning curve. I think he can step in. I have him right now at 8. Going to San Antonio would be intriguing with Castle and Connect. Maybe you can go 3-guard lineup with Castle, Connect, and move Devin Vassell as a small forward and play him with Wemby. So it's interesting what can happen with a team like San Antonio. You talked about it yesterday, Pharrell. You think this team can make a jump next year? Obviously, with Wembanyama, if they hit this draft right at 4 and 8 and take guys like Castle, like Connect, they could be well on their way.
Yeah, I think they're going to go Castle, Dillingham. And Dillingham's a 6'1" guard. You talk about creating a shot. He can get to his spots and get a shot off. The numbers are there. He was pure from everywhere. Let's just face facts. Look at how he shoots from downtown. He can also, with that speed, get around anybody and get a shot off. And the NBA loves guys that can, off the dribble, get their own shot from anywhere. And that, Brunson's a perfect example of it. Am I wrong? Like Brunson, that guy gets around the perimeter and then gets down into the elbow and off the elbow onto that that mid-range wing. You talk about that 15-footer, 12-footer, that dagger shot. He's ruthless. I think that if they got their hands on those two, and I have no problem with Connect over Dillingham, believe me, you. In fact, I think, I like Connect better. I like his size better. I think he scores more at the next level than Dillingham ever will. I think Dillingham, do you think he's a player that goes from 15 in college up or 15 in college down in the NBA?
I think, listen, I think Rob Dillingham is an absolute bucket. His concern, like you said, Pharrell, is his size being only 6'1", right? So that is going to be a concern with only a 6'3" wingspan. So he doesn't have the super long wingspan. But Pharrell, he can shoot, can shoot, and he can create. You know what he's the guy? He is the perfect sixth man, come off the bench, and your job is to score, right? Like a Lou Williams, like a Jamal Crawford, right? Your job is to come in, you can handle the ball, you can create, you can shoot the ball. Your job is to come in and shoot. He's never going to be a strong defender. I like Connect more because his ability to defend, he's bigger, but I wouldn't be shocked if Dillingham scores more in his NBA career because of his ability to create for himself.
That he'll score more, but he's not going to score more than Connect, in my opinion. Connect's size and scoring ability already translates, I think, at the next level like nobody's business. We'll keep looking at who the best players are on Betting Above the Rim.
Nashville, help me welcome to the stage the captain of Crushers GC and the 2024 U.S. Open champion, Bryson DeChambeau!
Gosh, I'm trying to hold it in right now. The support's been overwhelming.
Tickets for Nashville this week are nearly sold out. We are calling this the Bryson effect.
Won the Saudi Open on the Asian Tour in April, and he won the International Series event in Macau in March, beating David Puig in a playoff. Here's a man with 9 career wins, 3 of them on the DP World Tour. 33 years of age from Sacramento, and he is making the most of his chance.
And remember, John Catlin playing as a reserve for Charles Howell III, who's injured. If he were to go on to win this, he gets those points. That would move him right at the top 24 number. It'd move him at 20th currently.
Yeah, another beautiful shot. These guys making this look so easy.
Tyrrell having a day. The Englishman 6 under par. He shares the lead with Abraham Answer for the time being, at least. Now this is Abraham Answer to stay at 7 under and in all likelihood have the open night lead, and that is wonderfully done. Abe Answer with a 64.
This is what Live Golf's about, man. I had a vision of this 2-3 years ago, seeing what the potential could be, and this is just the start. I mean, with how much support we have out here, and it's just the start, that's a testament to what Live Golf is and what the Crushers are doing, what our team's doing, and what we're trying to do for Nashville and places all across the globe. So super excited for the future of Live.
Betting Above the Rim on a Sunday, brought to you by BetMGM. Don't forget, Wednesday and Thursday, SportsGrid with the best coverage of the NBA draft 2 days in a row. And I'll be doing Coast to Coast with Carver High. Coach Young will be on there as well. On Thursday, we'll be at the SportsGrid Network studios with C2C. I want to keep going down the list of some of these other players and refresh some memories on some of these college ballers that you've got on your big board because so many of them are really good players and they're going to get drafted. Let's start with Devin Carter at Providence, Jared McCain at Duke, Jacoby Walter at Baylor, Isaiah Collier at USC, and Carlton Carrington at Pitt, and De Silva at Colorado. I got to tell you, like, I like that De Silva kid. He can fill it up. And I'll tell you what, if I were the Lakers, there's no way, they'll probably pick Bronny over De Silva because of LeBron. But I'm sorry, they shouldn't. De Silva's a better player than him, flat out. I mean, that's just all there is to it. He produced for my man Dad at Boulder. That guy can fill it up. He can play. And I never saw any of that yet from Bronny James. I didn't even see that from him at Sierra Canyon. Okay? So you got to, start with De Silva and maybe, go backwards, Carrington, Collier, Walter, McCain, and Carter, whatever order you want to go in. But your thoughts on De Silva, at the very least, I can see the Lakers taking him, even though they'll probably take Bronny instead because of Daddy, which I think is a mistake.
Well, I would say this. First off, out of all the guys you mentioned, the guy I love the most is Devin Carter. And maybe this is my biggest bias in watching him live. Pharrell, that boy is a problem. That is Marcus Smart or Drew Holiday 2.0. That's how good and great a defender he is at the next level, where I think he can guard 1 through 3. I think if you look at someone like Devin Carter, who I think can go 9th, it'll be interesting to a team like Memphis, is the fact that his ability to defend at a high level, and the fact that he's only 6'2", but for all he's got 6'9" wingspan, right? So I think people need to realize, when I keep thinking about this, it's not about the size, Pharrell, at times. I think the wingspan can make up, right? Pharrell, you know this as a big, you know how we do it. We use our arms, right? And we use our arms as a way to defend. So to me, the bigger you are, the more it helps. Now, when you look at Colorado, first things first, you love that. I think he's one of the best coaches in the country, and he doesn't get credit for what he does. But let me tell you something.
I'm friends with
Silva,
him.
right? I got to meet this guy then.
He's cool.
I think the Silva can first things first, Pharrell, 40% from 3. All right? 40% from 3. Right there and there. Guy can knock down shots.
Honestly.
Right? So this kid can be a 3D guy, right? And he made 40% on his, and we use synergy. So I love that. He can get to the rim and finish, right? He can pass the ball. He is a willing defender because you play for Coach Boyle, right? Pharrell, you better play a little bit of defense at Colorado, right? It's that. So listen, is he as explosive as people want? No. If this guy with the high flyer explosiveness, this guy would be top 10 in the draft. Does that make sense? Silva's got, to me, top 10 talent. It's just that the fact he's not athletic enough. People I see comparisons of guys like Kyle Slow-Mo Anderson. He's better than Slow-Mo because he's got a much better shot. But that's one of the reasons why Kyle Anderson went so late in the draft, because people said, well, Kyle can't defend. He's not athletic enough. You know what, Pharrell? Give me a damn baller that can fill it up and can shoot and make smart decisions. You can find and to get them better defensively. Now, when you look at a guy like Cody Williams, this is another guy that is really dynamic. He's long. He's athletic. I really think he's someone that has a real smart feel for the game. Another good shooter, right? 42% from 3. Shoots it pretty well from the foul line. 7'1" wingspan. Oh, my God. It's 6'5", 6'6". So to me, the fact that now here's the problem. He's 178 pounds. But if I'm a team looking at athleticism saying, okay, 41% from 3, 7'1" wingspan, maybe we can get him to defend better, put some weight on him. He's very, very intriguing, Cody Williams. Very smart player.
Yeah, and we still haven't even scratched the surface with talent. I want to throw some more really good college players at you when we come back and see what your thoughts are, where they're going to go. I want to ask you about Shannon, who got cleared of all the rape charges, the kid that plays at Illinois. He can flat out ball. I want to know what you think teams think of him now that he's been cleared.
welcome to the stage the captain of Crushers GC and the 2024 U.S. Open champion, Bryson DeChambeau!
Gosh, I'm trying to hold it in right now. The support's been overwhelming.
Tickets for Nashville this week are nearly sold out. We are calling this the Bryson effect.
Won the Saudi Open on the Asian Tour in April, and he won the International Series event in Macau in March, beating David Puig in a playoff. Here's a man with 9 career wins, 3 of them on the DP World Tour. 33 years of age from Sacramento, and he is making the most of his chance.
I remember John Catlin playing as a reserve for Charles Howell III, who's injured. If he were to go on to win this, he gets those points. That would move him right at the top 24 number. Move him at 20th currently.
Yeah, another beautiful shot. These guys make this look so easy.
Tyrrell Hatton having a day. The Englishman 6 under par. He shares the lead with Abraham Answer for the time being, at least. Now this is Abraham Answer to stay at 7 under and in all likelihood have the overnight lead, and that is wonderfully done. Abe Answer with a 64.
This is what Live Golf's about, man. I had a vision of this 2-3 years ago, seeing what the potential could be, and this is just the start. I mean, with how much support we have out here, and it's just the start, that's a testament to what Live Golf is and what the Crushers are doing, what our team's doing, and what we're trying to do for Nashville and places all across the globe. So super excited for the future of Live.
Back on Betting Above the Rim on a Sunday, brought to you by BetMGM. We're seeing all these trade rumors. We talked about them yesterday, Coach. It's picking up steam, this Mitchell Robinson stuff. You know, I see the reports today of him going possibly to Washington, that they're talking, that they have talked, etc. But all we know is that he's the piece from the Knicks end. We don't know what the piece is at the Washington end. You and I were guessing, could it be Kyle Kuzma? I'm sorry, he's a better player than Mitchell. Mitchell's fat, slow, and injured all the time. I don't deny block shots and rebounds like a champ. I think he's great when he plays. 20% of their games. I mean, the guy never plays. Like he just is never healthy. It's always something, the ankles, whatever. So I don't know who they're talking about getting. I'm not sure I buy Kuzma. That'd be like getting Obi Toppin again, wouldn't it?
Well, I think Kyle Kuzma is an effective scorer, and I think he would be coming off the bench. And if it is true, and I just lined it up on Fanspo, which I really always use for trades, and Kuzma for Mitchell Robinson does work salary cap wise, so you could actually make that trade, Pharrell, and bring those two guys in for each other. Kuzma makes about 23.5. Mitchell Robinson makes about 14.3. To me, it's about a couple things. Number one is the fact that the Knicks want Hartenstein back more than anything in the world. They want Isaiah back. He fit them. And if you look at it, Pharrell, you've admitted it, I've admitted it, they look better with him on the floor because he's just as good as a rebounder as Mitchell Robinson. He is way more better offensively around the basket. He's got that little push, lefty shot around the lane. Floater. And he can dime you up, something that Mitchell Robinson cannot do. So the reason why I bring this up is if you are Washington, and this is just me thinking out loud, folks, and you get Mitchell Robinson, is there a need if Ricochet goes one for Sarr? Or do you pivot and say, we got our big, we got our rim protector. Do you now start to look around and say, Reed Shepherd? Do you look around and say, Stephen Castle?
Or
right?
trade.
Or trade out. But we like the Bazulis kid, right? As a 3. Do you switch your focus now? And I think that becomes interesting because does Sarr become the guy that falls? I will say this now. If it's, and I don't believe it's neither is Pharrell, by some crazy thought, if Klingon goes one, if he goes one, and Mitchell Robinson gets drafted or gets traded to Washington, they're going Ricochet number 2. It's done. It's done because there's no reason to bring. I don't see why you have Sarr and Robinson on the same team, right? So I just think you got to start looking into this as how this lines up. And I think we're going to be dealing with this, Pharrell, for the next couple of days because I think guys are going to get moved. And I think they need to get moved before the draft so you can line up who you're going to pick.
So at the end of the day, the moral of the story is you can't make your mind up. It's Klingon or Ricochet. You just can't make your mind up. You've been selling me on Ricochet for a month and a half, and now you're today trying to cross me up and dunk in my face, posterize me with a Klingon. That's what you're doing.
No, Pharrell, I'm not doing it. I will take Ricochet. He's been number 1 on my board, and I had Ricochet going number 1 in the NBA draft. Ready, folks? Before everybody else did. I've been talking Ricochet for at least a month going number 1. I beat everybody to the punch. And you can go, people, I'll pull a Warner Wolf. Go watch the videotape because I was first on it. I am just saying, because there's been reports.
He wants to have a backup plan is what he's saying.
No. I'm just saying because of the reports that have come out that Atlanta is focusing on Ricochet or Klingon because they can't get Sarr in the building. That's the only reason why. If I'm Atlanta, I'm taking Ricochet. His upside at 6'8" is too much to pass up.
Listen, I don't know how many times we can say this. After the kid blew him off, why would they draft him? He won't even work out for him. Why would he draft him? So let's talk about something else. I mean, this is like beating my head against a wall. So, no, I don't. So Shannon just got cleared of rape charges, and everybody thought he was a rapist and he was going to federal prison. He won. Not guilty. He didn't do it. So that's that. You can say whatever you want about him now. What, our team's going to say he's a rapist when he's already been cleared of it? It's over. It's done. He's not going to jail. He's going to the NBA draft on Wednesday. And I'm telling you what, this dude can flat out ball. Now, I love this Tyler kid at Marquette. Everyone loves him. He's a true point passer, playmaker. But he's no different than TJ McConnell at the end of the day with his size and everything. But this guy, Shannon, I don't care what anybody thinks. He can flat out fill it up, Coach.
Pharrell, guy's a bucket. And he's especially
maybe the best in the whole draft scorer.
Well, you know what? And the thing I like about it is Pharrell, he can push the pace and he gets downhill.
Yep.
He gets downhill with reckless abandonment, and he's become better, in my opinion, in his ability to be in the pick and roll game. And obviously everybody knows the pick and roll game is so important in today's basketball, because if you can't come off the pick and roll and you can't shoot that pill, you are no good in the NBA. So I think his ability to shoot in the pick and roll situation is something that's very, very intriguing for Shannon. I think he's going to be a good scorer in the league. Terrence Shannon's, and listen, what's happening is now that he's been cleared, Pharrell, you're starting to see him start to come up draft boards. I thought people thought they were nervous. Then they're thinking about, maybe he'll go, in the, second round or late first round. I mean, he's someone that when I redo my draft board for Wednesday night, he's going to be a guy that's going to be moving up the draft board. I could see him getting picked somewhere around 20.
All right, so just so we're clear, Coach's top 10 that I've seen repeatedly here are Ricochet, 1 to Atlanta, 2 Sarr to Washington, 3 Houston, Klingon, 4 Spurs, Castle from UConn, 5 Detroit, Reed Shepherd from Kentucky, the sharpshooter, 6 Charlotte, Buzelis, who we've talked about on this show, 7 Portland, our boy Salon. He loves to go get his blowout at the salon. And then San Antonio again at 8 with our boy Connect. And man, can he connect from everywhere. I'll tell you that much. My man can connect. And 9, I love his pick here at Memphis with Devin Carter, who we just talked about. He's a menace. The guy's a menace. And 10, Utah, Topic, the sit and wait approach on the Serb true point, big 6'6" scorer that will drop 20 plus a game in the NBA within 5 years. And you know that. So you still like that 10? Is that still where we're at here? Because I know you've tried to, dizzy me, spike my drink, poison my food with all your shiftiness and slick backdoor cuts and changes of players going here and there, trying to make me lose sleep, pull my remaining hair out so I look like you. Are you sticking to your top 10, or are you going to do me again?
No, I'm sticking to my top 10. I think there can be movement after that. But for really quick, the reason why you talked about Terrence Jr., I want people to understand these things really quick. Transition, 87th percentile in college. Spot up shooting, 80th percentile. Pharrell, we talked about pick and roll, 95th percentile in the pick and roll game. That is big time. That means when he gets the ball in the pick and roll, he's going to score and he's going to create.
I mean, my man's going to fill it up as sure as we're sitting here. I mean, he is just pure, like you said, buckets.
Nashville, help me welcome to the stage the captain of Crushers GC and the 2024 U.S. Open champion, Bryson DeChambeau.
Gosh, I'm trying to hold it in right now. The support's been overwhelming.
Tickets for Nashville this week are nearly sold out. We are calling this the Bryson effect.
Won the Saudi Open on the Asian Tour in April, and he won the International Series event in Macau in March, beating David Puig in a playoff. Here's a man with 9 career wins, 3 of them on the DP World Tour. 33 years of age from Sacramento, and he is making the most of his chance.
I remember John Catlin playing as a reserve for Charles Howell III, who's injured. If he were to go on to win this, he gets those points. That would move him right at the top 24 number. Move him at 20th currently.
Yeah, another beautiful shot. This guy's making this look so easy.
So having a day. The Englishman 6 under par. He shares the lead with Abraham Answer for the time being, at least. Now this is Abraham Answer to stay at 7 under and in all likelihood have the open night lead, and that is wonderfully done. Abe Answer with a 64.
This is what Live Golf's about, man. I had a vision of this 2-3 years ago, seeing what the potential could be, and this is just the start. I mean, with how much support we have out here, and it's just the start, that's a testament to what Live Golf is and what the Crushers are doing, what our team's doing, and what we're trying to do for Nashville and places all across the globe. So super excited for the future of Live.
Coach Bodega, my man, you got a 40 in there for me? I mean,
40 ounces of water. 40 ounces of water, what here?
I need that gold water, son. Buried gold water. All right, so back on Betting Above the Rim, brought to you by BetMGM. They want your assessment, final assessment on a Sunday of Bronny James. Where is Bronny James going? And I am not having it. All of this, like, I mean, my man said he was going. He didn't say he was. He said people bet all their hard-earned money on this guy going number 1. You must be tripping. I mean, it's like, here, let's see how stupid I can be and give it all away with that type of betting. I want to know what you think he is. You've already heard me. I don't deny his body and genes and potential. Fair enough. Obviously, this is a baller royalty family genes. You know, I'm not sold on every kid of the offspring turns into the dad at the next level in any sport. Okay. So, I mean, like Patrick Mahomes was better than his dad. His dad was never that great, in my opinion, of a, baseball player. But I think that the kid as a football player is phenomenal. But I think a lot of people think it's, automatic that the son is going to be this, great player, just like the father. I think it's hard to do. I think it's hard to live up to. I think the stress and pressure and the, just even the onslaught of media, like this guy gets more attention than any player that literally we've seen in years. I mean, Wembanyama, we knew he's a freak. So we knew that was happening. But this kid, Bronny James, gets more attention than anybody at all, anybody in this draft. And frankly, Coach, he just simply doesn't deserve it. This is because of his dad. This isn't because of him being some great player. I am sorry. I'm not listening to it. Now, I'm not against the kid. I'm not out to get him. I hope he does exceedingly well in his life and career. I mean, the kid had a heart attack or whatever. I know what that's like. I have an open heart surgery. I felt horrible for the kid. I'm glad he's balling again. I hope he lives an enormous long life and has tons of success at the next level. I am just not buying all this bullshit. I'm not buying it, that he's the featured attraction here. I even heard today that the reason they're having a second day is because of him. Now, come on. This is ridiculous. This is about the NBA believes they are as big as anything in the world, and they're going to do 2 days. You know what? If they had their way, they'd have 3 or 4 days. The NBA thinks they're bigger than the NFL. They do. They're not, but they do think that. And without a doubt, there are a lot of people that'll say, oh, basketball, the NBA is the greatest sport in the world. And then I know a lot of people that can't stand it, that think it's boring, that think the regular season's a joke. And I got to tell you, I thought the playoffs were a joke. I thought the finals were a joke. I thought the Sixers-Knicks series was better, way better than the NBA finals, and so was the Denver-Minnesota series. Those were way better than any kind of championship round I just watched. But what's your opinion of this kid in earnest and what's going to happen to him?
Really quick, if you want to talk about a player that's going to be better than his dad, do know, folks, Devin Carter's father, Anthony Carter, the former player for the Miami Heat. Now, when you get down to Bronny, simply put, Bronny James is Davion Mitchell. That's the best way I can explain it, right? Athletic. One of the better defenders in the draft at the guard position. But he only made 19.6% of his threes and only took 46 catch and shoot 3-point attempts. This is a guy that's 6'1.5" with a 6'7" wingspan. With all that being said, Pharrell, whenever BetMGM puts out their over-under for where he gets picked, he's going to go under. He's going to go under. Pharrell, I think he's going late first round, early second round. Someone is going to force LeBron's hand to take him, or they're going to force the Lakers to come back into the first round and get him, because I can't see the Lakers drafting him at 17. Like, I can't
either.
I know Kevin said it. I can't. He's going to be available at 25, 26. Trade. Make a trade. Go to the Knicks and say this. You know what, Knicks? You got 24 and 25. 24 and 25, Knicks go to 17 if Knicks see someone like the Silver or someone that they want to go get, right? And then you're going to go get him at 24, 25. I think he's going before, like, I've seen around other books. We'll see what BetMGM should hang it. And look out, folks. BetMGM's going to probably hang it in the next 24 to 40 hours. I think they're going to put it around 40, 41 and a half. I think he goes somewhere in the late 20s to early to mid 30s. I think he goes before pick 40 of the NBA draft.
And how does his career start out? Let's say the first couple of years. What's he going to do? I say he sits.
He probably sits. And let's be honest, how many of these guys in the late first round, they sit anyway, Pharrell? I mean, it's not every time you go in the late first round and you go get a Emmanuel quickly in the 20s or wherever he was picked, that it could just score like that. It doesn't happen often. So LeBron's got them by the you-know-whats. I mean, 4.8 points per game, not impressive. 27% from three, not impressive. But here's the thing, Pharrell. You mentioned this before. I'll say this one more time. Two reasons why you wouldn't go to a place like Duquesne and play it out. Number one, what happens if he goes there and he doesn't play well? Second, 2025 draft, Pharrell, you know this, way stronger than the 2024 draft.
Fair enough, but we already know that he's not going to Duquesne. So I just said he should have. And I also firmly believe that he would have dealt at Duquesne. He would have been a good player at Duquesne because he was a crappy player at USC, and that's just all there is to it.
Nashville, help me welcome to the stage the captain of Crushers GC and the 2024 U.S. Open champion, Bryson DeChambeau!
Gosh, I'm trying to hold it in right now. The support's been overwhelming.
Tickets for Nashville this week are nearly sold out. We are calling this the Bryson effect.
Won the Saudi Open on the Asian Tour in April, and he won the International Series event in Macau in March, beating David Puig in a playoff. Here's a man with 9 career wins, 3 of them on the DP World Tour. 33 years of age from Sacramento, and he is making the most of his chance.
I remember John Catlin playing as a reserve for Charles Howell III, who's injured. If he were to go on to win this, he gets those points. That would move him right at the top 24 number. Move him at 20th currently.
Yeah, another beautiful shot. This guy's making this look so easy.
Having a day. The Englishman 6 under par. He shares the lead with Abraham Answer for the time being, at least. Now this is Abraham Answer to stay at 7 under and in all likelihood have the open night lead, and that is wonderfully done. Abe Answer with a 64.
This is what Live Golf's about, man. I had a vision of this 2-3 years ago, seeing what the potential could be, and this is just the start. I mean, with how much support we have out here, and it's just the start, that's a testament to what Live Golf is and what the Crushers are doing, what our team's doing, and what we're trying to do for Nashville and places all across the globe. So super excited for the future of Live.
All right, betting above the rim on Sunday, brought to you by BetMGM. A couple things. Joe Ranieri and the mayor of Miami, of course, and opposite picks, your boy Scotty Wetzel coming up on In-Game Live, All Access. Don't forget, Wednesday and Thursday, SportsGrid's continuing coverage of the NBA Draft with our NBA Draft special on Wednesday and on Thursday, the 26th and 27th. We'll also do the second day is at 4 o'clock East, so we'll be doing coast to coast from 3 to 6 East at SportsGrid's Network Studios. And in the middle of that show, the draft round 2 will happen, and we'll have Coach Young on there on top of everything else that we're doing with the draft. All right, Coach. Coming up, Liberty Dream, Liberty Land 8.5 in Atlanta. Wings Mystics, they played yesterday, and the Mystics won. They're laying 1.5 again today in a rematch. That's all coming up in a few minutes. The third 3 o'clock game, Connecticut and Seattle in Seattle. Seattle's laying 1.5. And then at 4 o'clock on ESPN, Fever and Sky rivalry, Indy and Chicago. Chicago laying 2.5. What do you think of today's plays for me in the WNBA?
I would take the Liberty minus the points. If you want to go a little bit safer, maybe take their team total over. This is the Liberty team that really can score the ball and score in bunches, and they do an incredible job of sharing the ball versus the Atlanta Dream team that, let's be honest, isn't very good, and then they have lost Ryan Howard. Next, I'm going to go with the Mystics on a money line. Pharrell, I did it yesterday. I'm doing it today. There's no reason for me to change it. Why? I know. Maddie Segrist, still out for the Wings. Satu Sabli, still out for the Wings. You know, Howard just came back. It's only her third game back. Let's see how much he plays on a back-to-back today versus a Mystics team that secretly, Pharrell, I know they're 3-13, Pharrell, but they're playing a little bit better. They've won 3 out of their last 4 games. 3 out of the last.
But nothing. These are the 2 worst teams in the league.
But that's all right. But Minnesota, listen, the Mystics are playing better, and they're more healthy, so I'm taking them.
And they looked better yesterday against a crappy team.
Yeah, well, they're playing them again today, so I'm going to go right back to the window.
Get another win. All right, Sun Storm. Who do you like there in Seattle?
Storm money lines. I think this record for the Connecticut Sun is inflated at 13-2. 2 times they've lost. They lost to the Liberty at home by 7. And then obviously they got blown out by the Vegas Aces. Seattle Storm, really good team. First, one of the only times Connecticut's been tested on the road, they lose. Give me the Storm.
Fever Sky in Chicago. Sky laying 2.5.
I am going to go double for Angel Reese. You may have missed the mark, so if it's too high, I look at it as it could be over minus $2. So maybe go Angel Reese points plus rebounds. And I'm going to go Leah Boston over 15.5 points. They have no one there that can block her shot. Even if the Cardozo is big, remember, she bullied Cardozo all year at practice at South Carolina. Give me a Leah Boston over 15.5 points.
All right, so we're clear here. I just want to go through these real quick. Centers, coaches, top 3. Klingon, Ware of Indiana, Filipowski of Duke. Power forwards, he's got Tyler Smith, G League, who we talked about today as the top power forward. Point guards, Castle, Topich, Dillingham, Kentucky, Carter, of course, Providence, McCain, Duke. Those are his top 5. Small forwards, Richiche, 1, Bazelis, 2, Salon, 3. Ron Holland is rounding out the top 5. Then De Silva on the outside of that. Shooting guard, Shepard, Connect, Cody Williams of Rado, Jacoby Walker of Baylor would be his next. And then your boy Furphy from Kansas. As far as point guards, I guess guards overall. Those were shooting guards overall. Shepard, Castle, Connect, Topich, Cody Williams, Dillingham, and Carter. Forwards, Richiche, Bazelis, Salon, Holland, De Silva, George. And his big board right now, Richiche, Sar, Shepard, Castle, Klingon, Bazelis, Neck, Salon, Holland, the top 10 on the big board. So that just gives you an idea of all the big names that we've been talking about today and that we're going to be talking about even tomorrow on Coast to Coast, Tuesday, Wednesday, of course, the draft special on SportsGrid. Same thing Thursday. We'll do C2C Thursday from SportsGrid Studios. Great job by everybody today, Coach. Go have some more water, Romeo.